out there in virtual land. We are so happy to come before you again with another exciting episode with
Yes.
MLF Chilling with the Girls. This evening, we are so happy and privileged to bring before you a young lady by the name of Ms. Natasha Pritchett, and she is going to give us what she does, which is very exciting. She's a learning and developmental coach, and she lives according to this direct quote. As a matter of fact, she is the epitome of this direct quote from W.J. Marriott that says success seems to be connected to action. Successful people keep moving. They
That's
make
true.
mistakes, but they never quit.
Keep
So
it.
we are
Never.
so excited that this young lady is going to tell us all about how she got started, and she's going to really give us good information. As when our girls are here with us, Melanie, Tawanda, and Letitia, they will supply the entertainment. While Miss
Oh
Bridget
wow, the
will give us,
Entertainment?
yes, which
Let me
makes
get
it
my
really nice.
harmonica.
All right, so Miss Pritchett is in your hands. Tell
Oh,
us how you got started.
no. Welcome to Chilling with the Girls, Tasha.
Yes,
entertainment.
welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for having
Welcome.
me.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Well, we're so excited. So, my mom was reading your bio, just talking about the things that you do, and you've done a lot of things overseas as well. So, can you just explain, like, give us some examples of some things you did overseas in other countries?
Well, prior to going overseas, I was a elementary teacher. So I taught first, second, and third grade. And then in the middle of the school year, I decided that I wanted to make more of an impact. And I was really excited to be able to not just understand the learners that I had, but I had a vision for all learners. And so being able to tap into those that are from different walks of life kind of helped
Mhm.
with that. And it was a very tough decision, but I knew that there was, just more on the line of what I needed to learn and to grow and how I can impact, a nation. And that was one of the things that I took away as a
Okay.
huge, huge honor because I lived in 3 different countries. And
Wow.
one of the things that my friend and I would always say when you go to a different country or place, either you're coming there to be impacted or you're coming there to make an impact. And
Yeah,
so
that's
it
good.
was, and a
It
lot of
is.
times you don't know how or when. And I'm still, it's been 2 years since I've been back home, but
Mhm.
the things that I've experienced and done, there are times where I'm still like, man, that was my life. I did that.
Wow.
And it feels surreal, especially
Okay.
now with the shift of,
Mhm. Coming
lifestyle.
back to reality in the United
Exactly.
States.
Exactly.
America.
Because it was hard because living overseas, the one thing I learned about those that are wealthy or have capital of any amount. In
Okay.
America, we want more. When we get more money, we want more.
Mhm.
But overseas in most international countries, when you have wealth, you get help. And so being able to pay for a nanny, being able to pay for someone to do these
Mhm.
services for you
Mhm.
gives you more time to go make more money because these are the things you're not being required to take on. And so
Okay.
living overseas in Qatar, China, and Dubai, I always had someone to clean my apartment. I had
Oh,
someone to
Oh,
wash my
wow.
clothes.
I'm jealous. Jesus.
It was hard coming back.
Wow. Huh.
And
wow.
if you want food, of course they have people that will deliver it. And although I felt, so far removed from the US, they did still have a lot of restaurants that were, of
Okay.
course, close to home. I was super excited when the Cheesecake Factory came and
Cheesecake Factory?
Or,
Wow.
to
That's one
Uno's
of my
Pizza,
favorites. Oh my
Olive Garden. I had to
God.
hunt for Olive Garden. But the first time I found Cheesecake Factory, I was in China, and it was during the winter time, and they were still open, but they were doing more shows and stuff like that for the little kids.
Okay.
But when I found out that the Cheesecake Factory was at Disney World where they were doing the shows, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. It was Disney World. Okay. And I was like, I just want Cheesecake Factory. But they were like, well, you still have to buy a ticket to the park. So I bought the ticket to the park and went straight to Cheesecake Factory. Like, America. And it was just so nice because you don't realize how, it's easy to take for granted those little things, and being able to just have access to stuff like that at your fingertips, and then to not be able to have it, and to be able to share that with other people. And that was one thing I also enjoyed, meeting people from different countries and having people from different walks of life. And living in the Middle East for 4 years, of course, I encountered a lot of people of the Islamic faith. And it was really interesting to understand Ramadan and a lot of the things that they practice, so that I can have a better understanding of my students, because this is their country and I'm a guest. And I remember one time when I was teaching in Dubai, I taught at an all-girls school, which going back to what I said about making that impact or being impacted, that was the first time I had ever taught at an all-girls school. And even the staff was mostly women, except for we had to have some maintenance people because stuff we just can't do, or can't lift, or don't want to lift.
Right.
And of course, every school, every American school has security guards out front, and they're all usually males.
Okay.
And so other than that, there was no men, because the school I taught at, so of course, in that country, everything is separate. So it'll be boys go to boys' school, girls go to girls' school. But then when it comes down to the American school or other Western cultures, they have the Canadian school, they have an American school, they have a British school. So a lot of people from different countries want to be able to have access to these high power countries so that they can develop language, and then of course become, anchor babies in other places, and then bring their family on. Because a lot of, students from China, their moms would be 6 or 7 months pregnant. They go to America, have the baby, and just so that baby can get the American passport.
That's right.
And so when I taught in China, we always have International Day. And that's when we get to celebrate our countries and to be able to pay homage to other people's country.
Okay.
And so they were like, okay, so all the American teachers and students are going to go in this area. And one of my Chinese students, I was like, what are you doing over here? He's like, I was born in America.
Oh, okay.
Tiffany, I'm still teaching you English. You go in the Chinese section. But her birth certificate says America, and she stands by that. She says, I'm American.
Wow.
I read, what I read, that so many mothers were doing that, and they were trying to put a stop to that, so the babies can be American babies. Say when they get to the end of their time, say all on airplanes and all, so they were just really coming over here.
Wow.
And it wasn't right, and then the parents would have a foothold in America. Because the babies were American.
So now there's a different foothold, which in Indonesia and like the Philippines and countries over that area, they I forgot the word that they use, but it's kind of like find an American and marry them, and then that's your way. That's your ticket to America. And there are a lot.
I've heard of that
in America, because I'm a huge fan of this show. It's called 90 Day Fiance, and I think
I've heard of that.
I
don't like it.
Is why I never even considered dating when I was overseas, because I just didn't want to develop a relationship with someone where I'm torn between coming to your house in Africa or going back to America.
Okay.
And I never wanted, to have that separation from, the grandparents and all that stuff. So I was like, there's no point. Because I have friends that had, struggles and you don't know, are you marrying me for me or for my, benefits that I can offer you? And so that was always on the forefront because that was so commonplace because they knew teachers were temporary. We were on contract. And it's like, let me befriend you and be really nice and kind and all this. And so when it's time for you to go back home, you'll take me with you. Yeah. And, they have 90 days, for you to, of course, consummate the marriage so that, and then if you marry them, you're on the hook for them for 10 years, even if you divorce them.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I didn't know that.
That's
on the
crazy.
hook. What does that mean? What does that
You're
entail?
responsible for anything that they do. If you are no longer married to them and they go out and shoot up a bunch of people and they're fugitive now, they're coming back to the person that said, I'm going to vouch for you as you live in this country.
Wow. That's crazy. But
I mean, crazy. Of course, those cases are extreme, but you just don't know. Right. And even on the far side, just running up your credit because they can.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they just leave and then you don't know where they are. And they're living somewhere else. So you just don't know. And so I was always very about that. And so and then too, the cultural dynamic.
Excuse me.
Okay.
And how about your speech? You knew how you had to do that. They were mostly English, or how was that?
Well, in the Middle East was kind of, and I say now it's still impacting me now because in the Middle East, you have to water everything down so much because granted, English is commonplace, but it's levels of it and so much broken English and mixed in with the language of that country. And so you have to almost mimic what they're saying in order to communicate effectively, because if you don't, there's a lot of misunderstanding. So now you have to kind of, the words to use, it's like, what's the word underneath that? What's the word underneath that? There's no words underneath that. Here's the picture. And so you have to learn to figure out how can I best communicate with someone without getting frustrated immediately.
Wow.
So you start to adapt and you start to shrink your words. And, especially with the taxi drivers, it's like, yes, I live here. Yeah. And the longer you do that, the more you do that, you find, and even now I'm like, what's the word for that? Because for so long I had to kind of take some of the vocabulary words that I had and, and I had so many new languages that I was trying to pick up because in the different places I was trying to kind of at least learn a few words. Yeah. But it can be challenging.
Yeah. Wow.
So I want to ask.
And also the money. So even changing your money. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead, Mom. It's fine.
I was asking about your money, like exchanging money, and you find yourself you may be cheated or something because you don't know the value of, the exchanging of money.
That is true, especially if you're going to markets and you're using cash. And outside of America, everyone wants to haggle. And if you don't have that skill, you could get cheated. And I don't have that skill. I'll just pay, what is it? 10? Okay. Because it's 3. Can I get 2? And then you have to use the language that I'm like, my Chinese is already bad. Now I'm like, how much? Okay. Because even still, when you look at the currency exchange, you're still getting a better deal.
Yeah.
Especially when you think in America, I would have paid this much. But here I only have to pay that.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So I was going to say, so you started off teaching in America, right? So what took you to the different countries? What took you to the other countries?
One of my students threw a chair at me and in Atlanta when I was teaching. And it was just a lot of discord in the school. And I felt like the principals had given up. Because when we would call the office, they wouldn't answer the phone. And so that day, and then too, when you're around people with mindsets of that trapped mindset, everyone feels like, well, where are we going to go? There's nowhere there is so many other places to go if you really want to go. And so it was easy to just kind of take that mindset on. And so some friends of mine were like, okay, we got to get out of here. So let's get a certificate. So then we did a gifted program. So we were going to night school. And then one day my coworker was like, oh, look at my friend on Facebook. And I was like, what? She was like, she's in Abu Dhabi. I was like, Abu Dhabi? Who? What's that? She was like, she's a teacher. I was like, for real? You can do that? You can do that?
Wow.
You can do it. You can leave America and do that? And she was like, yeah, email her. Emailed her and she told me what website she used. And then I used the website. So, she told me the website. And then the boy threw the chair at me the next day. And then that chair was divine. And so after he threw the chair and then they weren't answering the phone, I took my whole class to the front of the office and I said, either they go home or I go home. And I had my purse. And the principal said, I'll take care of them. And so I went back to my classroom. I'm like, now, I have to threaten you to manage this. So I went back to my classroom and I was like, I'm gonna fill out this application tonight. Get out of here.
Wow.
And so I started filling it out, but then I got kind of nervous. I was like, I ain't going nowhere. Well, I'm not filling this out. And so then literally the next day I got an email and this lady, she was like, I'm a recruiter from the international website. You didn't finish filling out the application. I'm like, how did you know?
Wow.
There are some opportunities that I have for you, but we just need you to finish filling it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? How did they even know that I was? Wow. So I finished filling it out. I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But I have my family is mostly military. And so they've traveled quite a bit overseas. Okay. I was born in Korea, but because my mom did not advocate for me going into the military, it was never an option. Okay. And I considered the military, but my mom, she was just like, she knew it wasn't for me based on my personality. And I don't really like guns and violence. And I'm a softie.
And chair throwers. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Why can't we just have peace?
Let's get along. We need to all get along.
That's the middle child. But yeah, what I was saying.
And you were there by yourself, you didn't have family with,
No. Okay. Yes, I was by myself each time. So she emailed me. I told her I finished filling it out. And then she was like, okay, so are you available tomorrow at this time? And I was like, in the middle of the day, do you think people have jobs? But I was a school teacher then. Mm-hmm. And so I called out sick because I actually was sick when I woke up. Mm-hmm. And
you had a hickey on your head from the chair.
I had a tickle in my throat that turned into a chuckle. But so I took off and then I was like, I guess I am available to do, the interview. So I talked to her and it was like a blur. I don't even remember what we said. She was just like, we need some more, I need to give one more letter of reference from someone that knew me and they would set up an interview for me. Okay. And so I reached out to my old, before I was a teacher, I worked in hospitality management at Marriott for about 4 years. And so I went back to my director and I was like, can you write a reference for me? And he knew how much I had a passion for education because he would let me not come to work to go and volunteer at the school I actually worked at. And so I went back to him, he wrote it. And then she was just like, wow, whatever, this letter just, you're in. And so that was Thursday. Saturday, I got a phone call, which was an interview for a school in Qatar. And then Saturday, I didn't think it went well because I kept asking a lot of questions. I was like, so what if a bomb happens? What happens to us? What if this happens? What happens? Mm-hmm. And then he was like, well, it seems like you're not ready for this. It seems like this isn't something that you need to commit to because you seem still very unsure. And then I was like, what does he think he is? Yes, I'm unsure, but he can't tell me I'm unsure. So then I got on the school's website and found their mission statement. And then I sent him an email and I said, I agree completely with this mission statement. And I truly believe that this is the opportunity for me. And then he emailed back and he said, so when can you start? And I was like, this is for real. So that was pretty cool. That was in November. And they needed me to be there January 1st.
Wow.
Living in Atlanta in a 3-bedroom townhouse that I had been living in for 7 years. And I'm like, I have to sell this house. I have to get all this stuff out. And this was November. And I'm like, I need to quit there's just so many things I had to do. But everything just kind of just lined up. Wow. And I was terrified to go to my principals in the middle of the school year, to leave them kind of high and dry. But when I went in and I told them, and they were like, can we go too? They were like, because they knew, they were like, out of the 3 years you've been here, your light is dimming. And we can tell. And we don't want that to taint your, your passion for education. Yeah. And they were so supportive. I was just like, wow. I mean, just so supportive. And from then, just being able to rent my house out and have someone come and, oversee everything. It was a property management company and had renters and everything in. And January 1st, I was on a plane.
Wow.
I didn't take the car.
Wow. That's awesome.
Exciting.
So then today, what is your field of expertise?
So I truly believe that no work we do doesn't impact where you're headed. I feel like all of the jobs, all of the volunteering, all of the work, all lead up to something, but I never could figure it out because they always seemed like I was bouncing in different places. But now going from hospitality management and starting with Chick-fil-A, and that was my very first job. And I just fell in love with serving people and supporting people. Wow. And so that just kind of ushered me into the line of work that I'm in now as a coach, which is a true passion of mine, helping people to get unstuck with their own limitations and being able to just help people process, because I think we go so quickly in life and it's easy to get stagnant and you don't even know you're not moving anymore. Right. You're going so fast, but you're not going anywhere. And it's because of your own limitations. And, I'm a so what kind of person. And so it's like, okay, that's a limit. Okay, so what? How do we fix it? How do we move it? What's the workaround? How do we, just like your brother, this apartment. I'm like, why is this taking so long for you to get this apartment? Right. What's happening? So I'm not going to go to work tomorrow because we're going to make sure this happens. So I took off and I'm like, so you're going to be living here and this is, you good with paying this? You're going to be paying this and this. Wow. It was like literally that was like a Wednesday. That Friday he was picking up keys and everything.
Wow.
That's a learning coach.
Oh, we need you in our lives.
Absolutely.
Right. So
because I feel like a lot of times you are a visionary, but you need that person that will pull the trigger and help execute. And that's definitely a strength of mine. Push. I'm not a huge visionary. I do have ideas, but it takes me a long time to like put it all together. Yeah. But when it's time and it's right, I'm ready to, execute.
Okay.
So who do you think needs a learning coach?
Everybody. Okay. I think, and the learning and development coach is my role with my company because I support learning and the development of the skills that we're teaching them through our training. Okay. But I don't like the word life coach because I am certified as a career coach and life coach. But it's just because I feel like the word life coach has just gotten a bad rap. But I feel like everyone, ideally, but I mean, everybody's different, should have a life coach and a therapist because they're two different people. One will challenge you, one will just listen. And you'll have things processed, but you may not move forward. So that coach comes in to be able to help you see what you can't see. And then when you start to see what they can see, then they're saying, okay, you're ready to, put those building blocks together to get there.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's awesome.
So good.
Yes, it is.
And you know
So
what?
you
So, go ahead, Mom.
Now she was saying, you help to get people unstuck. And when we came on, we saw you with this beautiful little pet that you have, and you are definitely a visionary, because I heard Miles Monroe saying that a wealthy person talks about ideas, a rich person talk about stuff, poor people talk about money, but you like a wealthy person that's beyond money. It's ideas. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my God.
Yes.
That's so good.
Good about a bow tie.
I was just gonna say it's just nice. No, it's just nice to have you on here, because this month is we're observing Women's Month.
Right.
And so this month we're going to have like women on our show every week. And today we just have Natasha here just talking about her career and, her job. She being an entrepreneur, has her own business and, things like that. And just with the information that you're giving out today, a lot of people need to hear this. We've had like several people that were life coaches and
Best coaches.
all those types of things.
Vision coaches.
So that means everybody needs to get a coach. And
get a coach.
Yes, and it's always you can always find, what's the word I want to use? You can always I guess use those skills, things like that, because we all have goals and dreams and all that kind of stuff, and you do become stagnant.
Yeah.
I just love the way you just took your lemons and made lemonade. That was another show that we had. Where you took that situation in school and you was like, okay, I'm not going to just stop here. I'm going to do something else, but still using your passion, what you love to do. You still teaching or whatever, but now it's just at another level, at a different level. Right. So I think
it's funny that you say that, because I feel like that's the story of my life. It's like these are constant, roadblocks. But when I was in college, I was a part of a business fraternity. It was co-ed. It wasn't like the typical ones. We were, kind of doing more event planning and finance and just learning more about business and creating businesses. And so they had gave me a nickname, and it was Against All Odds. And that has definitely carried me through, because the school I worked at, they did not hire me at first. They didn't even have a position or a classroom for me, but I kept volunteering and I kept showing up. And I said, well, if you don't have to pay me, but I know that, before that, I had to seek God, and I had to seek my purpose. So before I can even, say I was, doing all those things, because there was a reason for it. And so there was a time where I was just seeking purpose, and I was just like, what is it? What am I supposed to be doing? And I kept hearing in church, the will of God for your life. And I'm like, well, what is that? Well, what is purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And I just, I fell in love with the scripture, Jeremiah 29:10. And I know typically the King James Version is
I know.
Plans
The plans that I have.
Yes, the plans I have for
I know
you.
the plans.
But that didn't resonate with me at all until I ended up buying this Message Bible. It was called a Message Remix.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to understand the scripture. What does it mean? And this version of it just screamed at me. And I didn't know why, but I just kept reading it and kept reading it. I know what I'm doing. I have it all planned out. plans to take care of you, not abandon you, plans to give you the future you hope for. When you call on me, or when you come and pray to me, I'll listen. When you come looking for me, you'll find me. Yes, when you get serious about finding me and want it more than anything else, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed. I'll turn things around for you. Wow. And that has been the scripture that has led and guided me through so much, because when I did get a little bit of a download of the bigger purpose. So once I kept reading this over and over and over and over again, I heard God's voice say, I want you to teach the masses. And I was working at Marriott as an event planner. And I was like, no, man, teach who? I don't even talk like that. I'm a shy person. And I'm like, teach what? The masses, who? And the next week, someone told me about Toastmasters and I joined. And then I just kept coming to Toastmasters. And then I got more comfortable speaking and I got more comfortable in leadership roles. And then another person was like, hey, you can get your master's in education. You can? Oh, I thought I have to get another business degree. And they were like, yeah, my husband is going to this school. Me too. I'm going where, how much? Okay. So I enrolled, and I knew I had a passion for children because I worked as a camp counselor when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
It was so fun because I was Miss Natasha, but then when I had to be Miss Pritchett, it was like, ooh, because there's so many rules and so much structure, and you have to be mean and firm. And that's now with Patrick. He's all, I'm like, don't talk to him like that, to the dog. And he's like, he's structure. I'm like, it's my baby. And then of course he tries to bite me on. He's like, see, you don't have any structure. That's why he nipped at you. So we went to this consultation to get the obedience school, and of course he's telling on me. So.
Oh my goodness.
So do you consider coaching as like being a mentor?
It's actually 3 different words. You can have a mentor, a coach, or a sponsor. And I think they're all very, very necessary to have, especially if you want to, move through the trajectory of the career you want, or just the life that you want. The mentor is someone that you can run ideas by, and they can kind of give you some guidance based on their limited view, or advice based on where they are in life. Okay. And then your coach is someone that's going to challenge you and to help you see things. Help you see things that you couldn't see, help you to get unblocked. So they're there to help you process why you're stuck, so that when you get unstuck, they're there to say, okay, now let's move. Because sometimes you can process and break through, but then you don't have that person or someone there to kind of hold your hand as you kind of continue to go through. And then of course your sponsor is someone that can speak on your behalf. There's someone that can kind of pull strings for you if you know that they know someone. There's someone that they can talk about you in rooms and spaces where you normally wouldn't be able to get in, and they vouch for you in that way. But I definitely think that the idea of having a coach is important, but people don't prioritize it because they don't see the value in spending the money on a coach. And I feel like because of that, that's why people continue to stay stuck, because if you're willing to pay, you're willing
invest
to do
in yourself. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're willing to invest,
that's good.
You're going to work. You're not going to just put your money out there and waste your money. Like
exactly.
I have a question. Where do you believe the average young ladies are heading in America? Like the average young ladies, what do they seem to like? Fashions and parties, and even some of the sororities in college, high school. Where do you think they're leading, and how can they have an insight, something like you did? How can they do that?
Well, I mean, I think this generation is like any other, is just different. I mean, you had all these different generations with rock and roll and all these different types of music and different dance styles. It's just, this is this version of it. And unfortunately, it's allowing young women to not feel like they have to do much, because if I look a certain way, that'll be enough. Wow. And so they invest a lot in just appearance so that that can kind of compensate for having to actually, you know, get a career and get out on your own, because it's easy to have someone paying for things. And so that is definitely in the Black community, something that's running rampant, but at large as well. I mean, you have thing called sugar babies and all this stuff. And it's just unfortunate because no one is really advocating for different paths. And even for myself, I find myself walking alone a lot, because in some circles, people feel that, you know, oh, you're doing too much. And a lot of the way I think can be controversial to people that don't necessarily want to see more or want to do more, or they're like, it don't take all that. Why you need to do all that? Why is that important? And so you begin to just kind of not share, you know, things that you have going on, because you want to accommodate, you know, for people that, you know, that may feel uncomfortable. But it shouldn't be like that. You should be able to, you know, share what great things that you have going on. And I just think people are so afraid to dream. And I heard a quote today that said, people that change the world are crazy enough to believe that they can. Wow. So if you think that, man, I have an idea or a skill set that I know can impact, you know, a group or, you know, a community of people, don't sit on it, you know, figure out what's the next step. I don't know how to write a book, but I'm figuring it out step by step. But I know that that's something I want to leave as a legacy, you know, behind, you know, as opposed to just, I was here and then I left. But at least I can say that there's something tangible with my name on it.
Wow. You know, I when you said crazy, it seemed like people a little nutty and not afraid. And they go forward and say, wow, he's crazy. But he's not afraid. All of us sensible people just stay back and do nothing because we got pride. You know, that cross pride. I'm not going to be crazy and make a dummy out of myself, but they're out there and they are making things happen.
Yeah. So everybody need a little crazy. Everybody need a little crazy in them, right?
And I wouldn't say crazy, but when you think about, but when you think about two different people, someone that's crazy and someone that is cautious or just, you know, like just things normal. Reserved. The thing is, this person is focused on how they appear, how they look. Am I saying the right thing? They're so focused on how I'm received and what I'm contributing. Whereas this person is focused on the vision and the impact and the people and the lives. Whereas you're limited to just your radius and you aren't able to, you have these rose-colored glasses on where you're not even able to see beyond your radius. So that caution creates a bubble for you that you want to kind of stay in. And the average person does not just do stuff. So we have a nation of very cautious people. So it looks like they're crazy because it's abnormal behavior from what the masses are doing.
I think even perfectionist people, that's like it's like a handicap, you know, because
analysis paralysis. It's like you're so focused on trying to figure out all the details.
Analytical.
You're paralyzed.
Analysis paralysis.
I like
Wow, write it down.
I'm writing it down. Analysis paralysis.
You're so busy trying to analyze, like, what if this happens? What if that happens? That you don't even move. You just
in that what's it? Spontaneous. What's that word?
So Patrice is here. Patrice said, hey y'all, this is Patrice. Love you, Lorraine. And she put hearts all over the place. And then Gloria Miller said, but the Almighty Lord has struck him, and I don't know what this is, and has delivered him into the hands of a woman. I'm sorry, like it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
So. Well,
And then
amen.
she heard it
Whoever
there.
said
And she said she was coming on.
No,
At least she did
hey,
say.
Patrice. No, I was talking about the other person, Gloria Miller. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is another episode of Chilling with the Girls. Please like and share this video. We're talking to Natasha Pritchett, a portrait of a young career woman. She's a learning and development coach, and she really has some great thoughts on how to get unstuck and why we all need life coaches in our life. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that. So, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell and the like. All right, go ahead.
It took her a lot
That
of
was my
courage.
commercial break.
It took her a lot of courage to leave US and go to a strange area. That's a lot.
I do believe I was getting groomed for it, because when I was in high school, my mom, 9/11 happened when I was in 11th grade.
Okay.
And so at that point, my mom was in the military and she got reactivated. And so now she has not been in the military for years. And now she's being uprooted and sent to Oklahoma, because a lot of the people were going to fight, and the people that weren't fighting needed to go fill those jobs so that things can continue to run. Because my mom's a budget analyst. And so she was there. She had to go there for a year. And she didn't want me to leave because, of course, I was, about to graduate and, wanted me to stay with my friends. But because of that initial kind of switch, it was kind of like I didn't feel that need to be afraid to kind of branch out. And so when I ended up graduating from college, I moved to Atlanta. And within a month, I was starting to work, and I had asked my aunt if I could live there. And then within like 6 months, I ended up buying a house, and I lived in Atlanta for 7 years. I thought that's where I was going to be.
How old were you when you bought your house?
How old?
I was 23. As soon as I graduated college, I moved to Atlanta, and I was looking for apartments. I was looking, but then I saw this townhouse, community that was being built up. And I just kept hearing God say, I'm going to do a new thing through you. And so I was the first and the youngest to buy a house in my family. And because of that, my aunt her and her best friend is an interior decorator. They pretty much did the whole house because it was being built from the ground up. And so we had to decide everything. And I was like, and they just took it on because they said, because at that point I was also involved in church, and I was a youth minister, and I was helping out a lot with small groups, and they knew I would be bringing some to my house, and they wanted to make it inviting in a place, where, they could come and feel comfortable. And so furnished it, painted every wall. They really took care of me. They really did. And it was just an honor to be able to do a new thing and change the trajectory of, my legacy. And now my little brother, he just bought a house, and he is 26.
Okay.
And he's in the military.
Okay.
So he just called me today. He got his new.
Wow.
Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah.
All right, I got to throw a wrench.
Uh-oh, Mel.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I remember, because I was just saying while you were talking, there was some noise going on the side. What was that going on? You kept looking down and stuff.
What's your other? Yeah,
that was my dog.
Your other endeavor.
Oh, right, so where's the little rascal?
He took a nap.
He's taking a nap.
Aww.
Can he come on our show?
He bitching?
No, he's just like, I'll sleep. Let me see if I can.
He don't want you. Okay.
He fell asleep.
He's sleeping.
He's like, leave me alone. I'm sleeping.
Man,
I heard him crunching and munching on something. Did y'all hear him?
I did. I thought I heard him crunching and munching on something.
Show, man.
What is going on?
I thought it was like a little bone, like a little snack.
So then his blood sugar was low.
He was like, leave me alone, I'm sleeping.
He said,
So you said your youngest brother just bought a house. So how old is your little brother?
26.
How old is your
26?
brother?
She said 26.
And my older
Yeah.
brother is 41.
Oh, y'all are young. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That
And
is
when you
great.
ask where the young people are going today, Mom, I was just thinking about a lot of them are doing investment. A lot of them are buying homes, and they want to start their own business, especially with the social media. They out there doing TikTok stuff, trying to raise money, earn money, and YouTube and social media and all that kind of stuff. So I think all of them aren't like clueless and don't know where they're going. I think a lot of them are in stocks and bonds and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference from when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't. They just moving on.
Yeah, and they're being innovators.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just thinking about new things to bring out, and creative.
Yeah.
They're tapping into all of that stuff, and they are bold. To go out and do it up.
They are confident,
Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Especially with the startups, they're fearless with, and then too, I think they have a better understanding of where to get money from and where to get these investments.
Yeah.
Because of I'm sure they have exposure to it, or they just learn a lot faster. I know I guess I fell behind with my social media. I'm like, TikTok I gotta download something else.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot, Tasha.
Snapchat, TikTok.
But think about the people you're helping, though. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of people
for promotional purposes. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. And being able to build awareness. Absolutely. But when it comes to, using it to fill your time, it can be it's easy to get sucked in.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're asking the right questions, because I was thinking about, there's a lot of funding out there government has, and they're not going to necessarily tell you about it unless you ask. So if you don't ask, you're not going to get it. No. So they know the questions to ask, and they're not afraid to come up to you. And then even though, they may have to do research and fill out this long form, they will do it.
Fill it out.
They will do it. They will take the time to do it, or they will hire somebody to do it. They will figure a way to get it done. You know what I'm saying?
I will hire somebody in a minute.
Yeah.
Just because I know my deficit. I know I'm not going to sit and pretend. I know what areas I'm really good in.
Right.
And I know what areas that I'm not. And so if I want it to look quality, I need to just find somebody that'll do just, those things.
And that's good, because when you think outside the box like that, progress keeps going. You keep that momentum going. If you're trying to, I'm not saying it's not good to learn different things, whatever, but your limits, and that, you can get things done a lot quicker if you go to somebody who is already skilled, someone else that, already has the ability or the funds or whatever to do it, instead of waiting around, say, well, I'll get it. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do research.
And then some people just want to take everything on, and they don't feel like they can ask.
You're preaching right now, Tasha. You're preaching.
It's like,
get ready, bring out my tambourine.
Take something. At the end of the day, being vulnerable for a moment is going to allow you to, have access to another path.
Yep.
It saves you time, saves you money.
I will be calling you and reaching out to you because we need help. But Tasha,
I'm calling to you, Tasha. I'm sorry.
Your other endeavor, can we talk about that? Because you said you have a little family member that's going to help you get money and all that kind of stuff. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, he's good now. He had a snap.
He's good.
I was trying to bring him up, Tish, but he was being a little feisty.
Oh, he is so cute.
This is Carmelli, guys.
This is Carmelli.
Hi, Carmelli.
He has a lot of hair products.
Wow. Okay.
He has hair products.
Because he sheds a lot.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This is him.
Look
He
at
is
his-
1 year old. Will you be able to pull up his picture?
Yeah.
So I was really excited when I saw a dog that looked like him on TV. And I'm like, that dog can do that too. How do I? And I just started Googling, and it said you can make up to $50,000 on as additional revenue stream.
Oh, he's so cute.
If you get a pet agent. Oh, and I added more pictures to the Instagram if you want
Oh,
to
you
use
did?
that.
Okay.
And so just trying to invest in, the obedience school and getting some photos. And he has a look. And I mean, I can, he's someone like him or some dog like him has been on TV. So that was enough for me. I was like, and the dog didn't even do anything. I was like, you can do that? He's like,
and everybody loves dogs. It's crazy. They like dogs more than they like children.
Yeah, you get in trouble quicker messing with a dog than you would with a person.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying.
some of those commercials about the children versus the animals, the animal commercial was on longer than the children commercial.
Yep.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to talk about
They steal the show.
You were talking about doing a book or something like that?
Yes,
also?
yes. So, so my two major goals for 2022, one is to, of course, get him an agent by the end of the year and, prayerfully a gig, whether it's, a magazine or some little photo shoot or something, because there are quite a few pet agents in the DC area. And then second, I have a children's book series that I'm putting together on character building and teaching this diversity and inclusion, to helping students to learn how to, of course, accept others with disabilities and those with, that's Carmelli.
And the name of your book is what?
So the series is called The Adventures of Carmelli, and the first book is called Carmelli Makes a New Friend.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so cute.
Hi,
Carmelli.
He's looking at himself. I'm watching him look at him.
I'm surprised he hasn't started barking, because he's like,
very photographic.
Is that me? Who's that dog that looks like me? It's you.
Oh,
yes.
He was my pandemic dog as soon as it all started, because it was definitely a transition to come from living overseas for 5 years to coming back to America, having to kind of start over in a sense, buying, new furniture, get a place to stay, car, all those things starting over when I came back home. And then to be hit with all the pandemic stuff. It was just a lot trying to, process being back in America. And people don't realize, when you're gone for a period of time, your mindset changes. And it's like, you may look the same on the outside, but you think much quicker, differently. And then too, with the language barrier, sometimes processing information can be, a challenge coming back. But it was just a nice addition to my little family here, because working from home, going from being a teacher where you have kids all around you and people all around you, to now working from home, it's like, it's a little quiet in here. And but now I'm like, I need a break. Who wants to come and get him? he likes to just sleep. See?
My goodness.
He is so cute.
Wow.
And I'm not
he's
an animal
definitely
person,
been,
and he is so cute. Oh,
he's definitely been a blessing.
Yes. So he has his own Instagram page. Oh, I know some people don't even have an Instagram. I'm just saying.
Dude, but mine has not been active since I left from living overseas. It was a struggle because it was like I was going to all these crazy cool places, and then now I'm at home. Well, I'm gonna take a picture of me on the TV.
That's
going to the mall.
That's what they do. I'm making me breakfast. I'm getting ready to get some coffee.
I'm riding an elephant, and now I'm like,
Right.
No way. You rode an elephant?
I really want to take a picture of my food. I just took a picture with a tiger. And then it was so funny when I went to visit my godmother in Fort Lauderdale. She was like, I'm going to take you to this huge mall. I was like, oh, okay. So I went to their local mall and I said, you do know I lived in Dubai with the largest mall in the world. And it's the tallest building in the world.
Wow, it's gorgeous. Well, Brenda,
that's a shame.
I said, but this mall is big. But then that's the mindset where it's kind of like you're not trying to brag. It's just the experience, and not very many people have the opportunity or want to. But surprisingly, there is a large number of African American people overseas.
Okay, yeah, wow.
Because they are providing a lot of really good perks for educators.
Okay.
Oh, okay, wow.
Well, I want to say, wait a minute. Brenda is watching. Hey, Bren. She said,
"Hi, Bren.
Melly has more social media than she does," and she said,
and me too. We're trying to get some promotion.
Right.
That's funny.
Grassroots marketing.
How do people contact you if they're looking for a learning or development coach? How do they contact you?
Right now, I haven't gotten everything established because I really want to start things with the book line, and then I do have an enrichment academy I'm putting together as a nonprofit business. So the consulting piece is something I do for free. And so I don't necessarily charge for it at the moment, but it is something I do want to monetize.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
Excellent.
I don't mind investing. I will invest in a coach, or
I'll take food. And
what kind of food? What kind of food?
I love Reese cups.
I'll give you some Reese cups for an hour of session, a class session.
Whole case of Reese cups.
Let me know.
She's ready.
It's like, give her some Reese cups if y'all need help with your life.
But the thing is, people will listen, but the doing it is up to you.
I know.
Yeah.
I can encourage you all day long, but at the end of the day, I can't get in your shoes and do it.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Absolutely. And that's key too. That's key. Get up.
And then eventually people stop answering the phone. Like, you said you wanted to do, you wanted me to be your accountability partner. What happened? Like, oh, you changed your mind.
Right.
Wow.
Because it gets hard. And if it wasn't hard, they would have already done it.
Something Mommy taught Thursday night on her Bible study, and she said you have to be a part of your miracle. People want the miracle, but they don't want to partake it. They don't want to be a part of it. They don't want to do the work.
That's so true.
Do the work in order to make it, and successful people do their work.
And that's why some people get upset at the people who've done the work and who have the outcomes, because they don't want to do the work, but they want the outcomes.
Because it was not easy at all.
Sure.
By no means. And in that same lane, I was thinking today about when I did hear God tell me, I want you to teach the masses. I just started thinking people get visions and God speaks to them, but we still have to say yes or no.
Yeah.
And our silence is a silent no a lot of times. But when you do say yes, it just unlocks so much divine intervention and connection. And I truly believe that day when I heard the voice of God say, I want you to teach the masses, and I said yes, it has definitely opened up doors.
Yeah.
And guess what? Hard things like the pandemic has made it happen. We don't want the pandemic, but it's really working for us.
It really works for me.
I never heard of the word Zoom 2-3 years ago.
Oh, it absolutely has worked, especially with all the racial injustice that's going on. I was able to get an opportunity at my new job, and I was the first Black woman on that team because they were trying to integrate more races. And the company I work for, they have about 4,000 financial advisors, but only 200 are Black.
Wow.
And 38 are Black women. And so I just kind of started another project where I've created like a mentorship program for the Black advisors to support them so that they can continue to work there and hire more people that look like them. And so I've been doing a lot of coaching with them. That's definitely been nice.
How do you qualify to get in your program?
Well, a lot of what you have to work there, of course. And that's one of the programs that we initiated, because after George Floyd, they created a task force for racial injustice. And now the task force creates different programs. And they asked me to be the coach for the Black advisors. And so now I want to bring women into it next, so that all diverse under marginalized employees have a voice, because sometimes you don't really feel like you fit in, or or that your voice matters, but being able to have somebody walking with you and kind of saying, no, imposter syndrome, this is not imposter syndrome. Right. You are qualified. You're here for a reason. And to just be able to say that, and you're worth it, and you're supposed to be doing this. People don't hear that often.
Yeah, so this is good.
For being on our
yes.
Show.
Yes.
Her social media information, like Instagram, she's on LinkedIn, she's on Facebook. You have to be my friend too. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're Chilling with the Girls, and we have some other interesting women coming on this month.
Yes.
I want y'all to have a great weekend.
Yes.
See y'all next
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Bye.